you know, you're obviously an extremely confident guy. How do you think you install that into others? What do they need to become as confident as you are when you become that superhero?
It gives, for me, because when it comes to being the best version of yourself, to be a best boxer, you've got to be obsessed. It's as simple as that. You can't play boxing, you know, or MMA. You can't play Thai boxing. You can't play any sport. If you're not obsessed, you're wasting your time. Because even the ones who were struggling with drugs and alcohol, growing up superstars, they were still obsessed with their sport. They could do things with a football or a boxing bag or a tennis racket or whatever you want to call it, what nobody else could do, because their mind work different, you know. And when your mind work different, usually these are the ones who are obsessive in their sport, you know. And even if you haven't got the talent, if you're dedicated and you've got hard work, that's still obsessive behavior, isn't it? It's not giving up. So it all interlinks. So we look over the years where you've had someone who's super dedicated and you've got one who's just only super talented. But when I was growing up, I had them both. So that became a special package when you got talent and hard work. So my job is, like, whatever happens, it's hard work. Mm-hmm. Fuck the talent. Even if you hard work and you put the effort in, you structure, you can achieve many things, because when it gets to that level, all the flies drop off. I remember being 14, 15, winning Welsh titles, and there's some really good kids, and they were better than me. Some of them were, like, I admit that. I was good at my weight, but those guys were way better than me. Mm-hmm. And when I got to senior level, where were they? They all fucking quit. Then I went up another 6 levels, and you got that one down the pub saying then, oh, I was better than him. I was, no, mate, you quit, and I went up another fucking 6 levels. You can give it the big one down the pub, but when I got to senior level, that's when it counts. It doesn't matter when you're a child. Oh, when do you play for Swansea City or Arsenal when you're 12? Who gives a fuck when you're 12? Do you play as a senior? We're all men then, because when you're young, we all mature quicker than others. We see things. Some people are bigger than others. But when it comes to senior, no, everybody's fully developed then. So that then separates the boys from the men, doesn't it? So for me, I get respect when people at that senior level and still pull it out to the bag. So my job is, hey, stay on track, or you're going to quit like everybody else. You can be the best now, but can you do it when you're 17, 18, when you turn it over to be a man? That's when it counts. No one remembers when you're a child. People only remember when you win in senior things.
And then if you take that out of the boxing world, so this is what I've managed to do, if you want to call it that, but using that, I mean, your mentality is bulletproof. Utilizing that mentality and then putting that across other facets of life, which you don't have to worry about right now. Yeah. But if you were speaking to a young, like you said, 15-year-old kid who doesn't box, but isn't confident, is timid, doesn't know how to instill that in himself, what kind of advice is
go and find a club, a sport. You know, so you got these kids and they don't know what they're doing. They stealing, they messing about. They're on their social media, they selling drugs, whatever. And everybody has goals, everybody has ambitions, especially when you're a kid, because your imagination is different when you're young. You know, you think you can achieve anything when you're young. So they do have goals and they do have things that they want to do. But if it gets taken to the side by drugs or alcohol or doing things that they shouldn't do, then me and people like you who have that respect, we are well known. And when we talk about these things, we say, guys, stop the drugs, stop the alcohol, get into a sport. Find something that you like to do. And that's the motivation. When they do become part of the sport, that's where the confidence comes. They start socializing. They start feeling good about themselves. They start doing, someone's giving them praise. Some of these kids have never had approval in their life. They've always been told, no, you're shit, you're rubbish, you can't do this. Or they haven't given these people or teachers haven't even given them the time, because they've gone to university, got their teaching degree, and because they show them behaviour, or this, you're naughty, you are, when they don't realise the reason why they're showing this behaviour is there's a reason behind that. Do your fucking courses. You know, do therapeutic lessons, understand why this child is giving you this behaviour, build a relationship with this child for the child to be honest and trust you, and then you get to see the real child. Do you know? So for me is again, and that's not what we teach, that's just coaches in all sports. You know, you got to understand that most of the best sports stars have come from a shit background. You know, so again, you know, my advice to always people like us, when we do these podcasts, when we go and visit in schools, when we do the interviews after, and we interact with these children or young adults on social media, we are their inspiration. So we can lead an horse to water, but then we can't make them drink it. So it's up to them then, isn't it? because they are dealing with their obstacles and their issues. So that's their own personal battle. That's something I've learned growing up through the years as well. Like you said, we can't fix these people. No, we can show them the way, guide them. Then it's you, you know.
I think you've done it yourself already, but I'll try and explain it in my own words. A super powerful tool that you've utilized in your life, and your life has been far more, tragic than mine and a lot of people in the world. But you've utilized what I call like a lens, as in your outlook on the situation has always been to frame it in a positive light rather than to frame it in a negative light. So if you're at home and you're, depressed or you're struggling, look at your life and think, how can I look at this in a positive light that I can improve it, rather than looking at it as in life's so hard, it's not fair, because your upbringing where you've been was not fair, was difficult, it had all these challenges that you had to overcome. And if you had succumbed to my life's not fair, it sucks, you would never have become the man you've become.
But do you know what, Luke? I think one of the real reasons how I had that mindset was, again, even though some people have amazing influences as parents, but the parents it's their job to show them the walk of life, to learn from the mistakes. But also, we self-develop then, or those children sometimes then also don't become authentic and still listen to their parents as they're growing up. That is because they done it their way. Now, I didn't have that. When I was growing up, I was not influenced by many. I had good foster parents, but then I was away traveling. I was living in Sheffield for 5 years. So I was making my own decisions. So when you have people these days complaining victim or complaining about things, it's usually because they've been brought up in that environment. It doesn't mean they've had a bad environment, but they've been around their mum or dad who's been, work is hard today, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that. So it's copied behavior. You become your parents. And again, this is why it's so influential. For me, if I ever had children, the first thing I do, I say, go and travel. Straight away. Do your education and go and fucking travel. And then you get to know who you are. I don't want to be that parent who, you need to do this, you need to do that. Of course, I'd be like saying, make good decisions, guys, be positive with that. But again, I'd be influential to do positive things. It doesn't matter what they do, but go and find it for yourself. Learn who you are.
I think making decisions, like you said, asking people to make decisions and then making those decisions and then seeing what happens from making those decisions is how you build confidence. I believe confidence stacks over small wins.
Yes.
So if the small win is I'm going to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning and go for a run, it's not that difficult to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning and go for a run. So when you wake up at 6 and you go for that run, you come back and you feel like, I said I was going to do that thing, I did that thing, and now I feel proud.
Yeah.
And those small little things, you then continue to do them, and then you become a bare knuckle boxing world champion because you've done that for years and years and years and years and years, and now you're the most confident man alive because you've had all these small little wins. So I think, like you just said, people that listen to their parents, that get stuck in this trap of becoming them and having victim mentality, just make a decision and stick at that decision. Whatever that decision is going to be, if you're going to choose a different route, if you're going to go to a boxing gym, if you're going to go play football, whatever you decide to do sport-wise, but make a decision and then stick at that one thing for a long period of time.
Cool. And when you're young, I was that kid. Someone tell me to do it, be like, nah, I want to do it this way.